What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And you may not know this, but I was a long-time Fox body guy. But as you may be able to tell for what resides in my garage, I'm also a big fan of the new age Mustangs. So today we're going to tackle that age-old question: should the 94 to 04 SN95 and new age Mustangs also be considered Fox body Mustangs? Now, before we start the video, do me a favor and hit that like button. Or better yet, make sure you subscribe to get all the latest content here on the channel. The Fox body Mustang is the car that brought Ford back into the performance game. It made its crosstown rivals, the Camaro and Firebird, better because of its existence. It was so amazing that the Ford faithful started a letter writing campaign in the late 1980s to save their beloved pony car. Yes, letter writing, paper. So retro. So Ford decided to scrap its plans for the front-wheel drive turbo 4-cylinder Mustang and call it the Probe. I have a video on the story of that car that I will link right up here, or maybe here, but probably here, but I'll definitely put it down below in the description. The Fox body Mustang was the car of Gen X's dreams, and some of us were fortunate enough to own and even race one back in the day. So it should come to no surprise that these cars have become highly loved and highly sought after. If you ask most Mustang people, when was the Fox Mustang produced? Most will tell you 1979 to 1993. While that is technically correct, let's dive into the world of the Fox body Fords to make sure that is completely accurate. To do this, we must go back into the year 1979. Oh wait, the Fox Ford actually existed before 1979. Let's go back to 1978. Night Fever by the Bee Gees topped the charts, Jimmy Carter was president, and Ford introduced two brand new car models. The Ford division had its all-new Fairmont, while sister brand Mercury got the Zephyr. The new Fox platform used McPherson strut front suspension and a live rear axle. Because of the new front suspension, the engine bay was wider and could accommodate a variety of engine setups ranging from inline 4 and 6-cylinder engines to V6 and V8 engines. Wheelbase was just over 105 inches, and it was available as both a 4-door and a 2-door. The standard engine was a 2.3 inline 4, producing 88 horsepower, and the top dog at the time was a not so fire-breathing 5-liter V8 cranking out 139 horsepower. Remember, this was 1978. So now we are in that magical year, 1979. Ford rolls out a brand new Mustang based on that Fox chassis, but it has now been shortened to just over 100 inches. The front struts and live rear axle setup, that's the same as its cousins, the Fairmont and Zephyr. The interior has been slightly redesigned, and the body is sculpted more along the lines of a pony car. But for the most part, the structural pieces are the same, or at least interchangeable. The Mustang would go on to receive mild restylings in 1983, and then again in 1985, along with a more dramatic restyling in 1987 to fall more in line with Ford's new aero look. The car received an upgraded 8.8-inch rear end in 1986 for V8 models, which would replace the 7.5-inch rear found in older models, as well as redesigned K-members and redesigned front spindles in 1987. The coolest thing is that the cars all shared that same Fox chassis, making many parts interchangeable. You want to swap larger front brakes on your 83 Mustang? Sure, take some parts from a 92. You want a stronger rear on your 80 Cobra? Hey, go grab that 8.8 out of the 89 GT and you're good. Even wheels for the most part were swappable, as all models except the 84 to 86 SVOs use the same 4x4.25-inch lug pattern. People even swapped body parts on their older 4-ride cars to make them look aero. Nowadays, many would consider that a sin, but back in the day it was pretty common. And the fact that they all used the same chassis made it that much easier. You can even take the engine, transmission, and rear axle out of a Mustang GT and swap it into your Aunt Sylvia's hand-me-down 78 Zephyr, making it quite a sleeper. Others in the Fox family included the 1983 to 88 Thunderbird and Cougar, which use a longer 104-inch wheelbase and a wider track. While not everything is swappable back and forth, enough is for many to call them Fox bodies. There are even longer wheelbase Foxes like the 83 to 92 Lincoln Mark 7, the Lincoln Continental, as well as the 1980 T-Birds and Cougars. So while the term Fox body Mustangs always applies to 79 to 93, often that name is given to these other Fox cars as they are part of the extended family. So let's talk about 1994. Forrest Gump was crushing it at the box office. The George Foreman grill was released to the public, changing the art of food preparation, and Ford debuted its newly restyled Mustang. Codenamed the SN95, Ford brought back many retro design cues to very distinctly identify the car as nothing but a Mustang. It featured the return of the running horse in the grille, a dual cockpit interior, and the trademark pony car long nose, short rear deck. What you could not see were all of the improvements made to the Fox chassis in an effort to reduce NVH. That's noise, vibration, and harshness. The new car's wheelbase increased slightly to just over 101 inches. The front suspension retained the McPherson strut design, but used longer, lower control arms, redesigned spindles, and anti-roll bars. All Mustangs received standard four-wheel disc brakes in 5-lug now, with larger versions on the SVT Cobra models. The live axle was retained, but the track widened about 1.5 inches in 1994, with longer axles, and ABS was offered. In 1999, the rear axle widened another 1/2 inch with a new housing and axles, but it was the same basic 7.5-inch rear for V6 cars and 8.8s for V8s in the GT and the Cobra. Starting in 1999 and then 2001, 2003, and 2004, independent rear suspension was added without really modifying the platform. So let's go back to the purpose of this video. Are SN95 and New Age Mustangs really Fox bodies? Well, that's up to you, I guess. If you consider cars like the Fairmont, Zephyr, Thunderbird, Mark 7, if you consider them Fox bodies, then yes. Parts are mostly interchangeable among all of them. You want to put a Terminator engine in your 93 Cobra? I know some people are having palpitations, but sure, you can. It's just a K-member, fuel system, and some electronics away. Yes, I'm simplifying it, but it can be done relatively simply. Do you want a 13-inch Cobra brake setup on your 86 GT? Sure, why not? The point is this: parts are mostly interchangeable between the 79 to 93 cars and the 94 to 04 cars. I'm not saying everything is, but enough is because they share the same basic Fox platform. Now, if you are some kind of Mustang purist who snubs their nose at the Fairmonts, Zephyrs, Thunderbirds, and Mark 7s of the world, then I guess you could make the claim that they are not Fox bodies, because they are not the same spec and they don't deserve the moniker. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Should 94 to 04 Mustangs also be considered Fox body Mustangs? Or should the year be capped at 1993? Make your opinion known, drop a comment down below, and let me know what you think. So I hope this clears it up just a little bit. I thank you very much for watching, and once again, please don't forget to subscribe to get more of this type of content here on the channel. Whatever you think, whatever you drive, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.